What's going on, second geners? So guys, I was actually supposed to be working on door hinges this week, but I've hit a little speed bump with that project and I've had to order some supplies. I'm working through it, but in the meantime, it's kind of set me back on waiting on those supplies. So this week I've decided to jump over to the door skins and start prepping them for installation. All right guys, before we actually get started in this video, there's some confusion on the channel right now, and a lot of it is my fault. If you've been with me for a long time and you've watched a lot of the videos, then you kind of already know what's going on. But just to bring everybody up to speed at the beginning of this video, I just want to take a few minutes to do that. And it is confusing because we were working on a 72 Camaro and now we've got this 81 here in the bay. So what's going on, if you're not up to speed, we're still working on the 72. The doors are ready to skin. However, those skins are NOS door skins. And at this point, I don't feel comfortable actually folding the flanges over because I've never done it. Don't have any experience at all doing it. I've got a reproduction door skin for this 81 Camaro. So what I decided to do was take that reproduction skin, get it ready, and skin one of the doors for this car just to kind of get my feet wet before I actually commit to the NOS door skins. Those door skins are readily available. They're whatever the price they are. I think they're $100. And if you mess one of those up, then you can get one pretty easy. It's just picking up the phone and getting another one sent in here. The NOS ones that's over there for Project Overkill, those are rare, and I just want to have some experience folding those flanges over before I commit to that. So that's kind of the confusion. I know you guys are seeing a lot on this car right now, and a lot of that is my fault because I've kind of went overboard. I've decided to do some videos that I didn't have the chance to do back when I was first starting on the 72, mainly because I wasn't on YouTube. But I've taken the doors apart, documented all that. I've restored all the door internal hardware. We built a door dolly for the cars. I have went overboard on this for what I set out to do, which was just to install a reproduction door skin. So that's where the confusion is coming in. We're going to get everything ready. We're going to install that reproduction door skin, and then we're going back to the 72. This project will go away for some time until that's done. Now, periodically, you may see a video on it if it's something that I want to bring you. There is one video on the trunk that I want to do. For all practical purposes, we are definitely going back to the 72, as I laid out for my channel objectives in the video I did a few weeks back. But anyway, that's what's going on. So I've kind of went the long way around. So you guys know how I am. I always just jump head first, just all in and go all crazy on this stuff. And it's got some people thrown off here. So anyway, let's get to the video. All right, so here is our reproduction door skin for our 81 Camaro Project Fast Times. Now just to recap for our new subscribers, we're not switching projects, but I wanted to take this reproduction door skin and just kind of get my feet wet with it since it's fairly inexpensive compared to an NOS door skin. Before we can install this door skin, there's a few things that I want to do. In a previous video, I had compared the reproduction door skin to an NOS door skin, and I go through all the details that I found that were just small differences, and I'll put a card in the corner to that video. But one of the things that I'm wanting to do, I've actually already started some time ago. I started closing up this gap. You'll see this gap right here, and it's a pretty good little gap. It's probably I'd say a good 3/8 of an inch right there. And I want to close that down to like I have right there, maybe even a little tighter than that, because this actually is going to get welded to the top of the door frame. And I don't know if that's enough to throw the adjustment of the door out. I'd like to have it as tight as possible. So this is another door skin that I pulled out of storage. It's an NOS door skin, and it's pretty rough shape. Been in storage for a long time. The GM tag kind of come apart on me, but we can make out some of it. So before we do anything to this part, we'll definitely give it a good cleaning. But you can see just how tight this folded edge is along here. And it's like that until it gets back to about right here, and then there's just a small gap there. Again, we've got a lot of edges to fix on these panels. Reproduction is the same way. We've got some edges to fix. One of the other things that I want to do is I want to slightly cut this corner, and I want to bring this piece of metal up over a little bit more than I have it right there. You'll see how the factory did it. Theirs is almost just, you don't have that far to travel. I don't know what angle that is, but you can see it's not going to be very much work versus our reproduction that's way out here, that's got to come all the way over and then go down. So we're planning on getting this one ready, but I got to thinking about it, and this one here has got to be gone through as well. So I may do these at the same time, only because I'm going to order a sound deadener product, and to be able to put it on this skin, the shelf life of it will not last till I get to that skin there. So I'll probably do these at the same time just to save on materials. But like I said, this is the one we're after right here. Alright guys, here's what we'll come out with on the edges for this door skin. Really like the way it come out. This part up in here was almost basically flat, and it had just a slight break in it. So we was able to hammer and dolly all that up. Also went ahead and figured out the mirror location for the brackets. So one of the things I needed to do on this reproduction door skin was to determine where the sport mirror was going to mount. And pretty much the driver's side comes with the holes already cut out and with the reinforcement backing plate underneath it. What I did was just make a template out of some poster board and then just transferred the holes to it, and then came over here to the passenger side and mark my holes, and then compared the measurements between the two. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and include some pictures of the measurements that I took off of my original driver's door for that template that I made. That way, in case somebody doesn't have a driver's door, or maybe they don't want to take their sport mirror off of the driver's side to get it, they can go by these measurements that I have. But anyway, I did make them exactly the same as the driver's side, and I'm not exactly sure whether they are, but to me it just made sense to do it that way. I feel like if they aren't, they're really close, and we'll find out once I get the doors on the car. You can see right here what GM did on the driver's side. They just welded this little reinforcement plate to the underside for the sport mirror. Passenger side door skin doesn't come with one. What I usually do, I'll cut that driver's side off. However, the one that I had was just trash. So I went ahead and made this piece here out of some 16 gauge, and I went ahead and welded some nuts on the back side of it. Right here is what we come up with. This will be the dowel on the mirror gasket, and then these actually will be our plug welds. Okay guys, we got our parts ready to spray some epoxy on. Now this door skin, it's a little excessive just trying to get some epoxy under that bracket, but I also have some other parts to spray, so that's why we're going this route. Plus I just feel like spraying some epoxy. So let's take a look at everything. There's our area we're going to be spraying some epoxy in. Metal temps are good. We're right at 72. Our epoxy is 73 and 85. 73. This over here is our brackets. You'll notice I've got some of the hinges. These are the hinges that is the non-bushing side. I already had some of this stuff ready. So while we were at it, we're just going to go ahead and spray it now. I'm using these big lights here, not necessarily for the light, but for the heat out of it to get the metal temps up. It's cold today. It's 42 outside, and this thing says 66, and this thing says almost 68, and the heater just came on. So we'll let that do its thing, and then we'll get to, once it shuts off, we'll tack rag everything. We'll be ready to spray. guys, so I was in a hurry to get everything cleaned up the other night, and I forgot to give you guys an action shot of the parts all finished. I've got them moved into a spare bedroom here in the house with the heat on, and overall they all came out really nice. I'm just letting this epoxy cure up, and then we'll be ready to install this bracket. So guys, I'm gonna call this video a wrap. I'm gonna let that epoxy cure up a little bit before I actually install that bracket. The next time you guys see that reproduction door skin, we'll go ahead and apply our weld through primer to the bracket. We'll weld it in, and then we'll start actually prepping the door skin for epoxy primer and the sound deadening product. I want to thank everybody for watching and everybody following the channel. If you're new and like this content, be sure to subscribe. Also hit that bell notification. That way you're always notified of anything that's going on here in the garage. With that said, guys, we'll see you on the next one.